This Bubba Exotic Motorsports production is brought to you in part by Blog Talk Radio, host of our #1 rated internationally syndicated automotive podcast as heard on the Bubba's Motorsports Network, and by Schumacher Chevrolet, SchumacherAuto.com, Schumacher.com, SchumacherAuto.com, and finally by Robertson Racing LLC.com, RobertsonRacingLLC.com. Visit them for all your lubricant needs. Good morning, everybody around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on Doing It Bubba Style here on the Bubba's Motorsports Network. Bub, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good, man. I'm just getting through, I guess, the start of Monday already. We've got a lot going on.
Mondays are brutal.
Full plate for us this entire week, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we'll crank it out as best as we can. It's just that simple.
Mondays are hard, man.
Yeah.
Mondays and Fridays are typically very hard around here.
Yeah.
People don't realize how tough it can be.
Fridays, everyone wants all their stuff for the weekend, and then Monday comes around, and people who sat over the weekend got bored, and they thought of 100 other ideas that they wanted to do. And then Monday hits, and it's just an entire bombshell.
Yeah, it compresses
all
on
good.
Well, I hope all of you had a really good weekend. Those of you up there in the Northeast, we're feeling your pain with all the snow and everything that's going on up there.
I'm not really feeling
No, you weren't. You were sending me pictures. You were out on the boat yesterday having a drink. The water was crystal clear. It was green.
It was perfect.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Perfect. Couldn't have asked for any better.
Couldn't ask for any more. Yeah, as you all know, the ladies' man, Big Money Deezy right there. Got off to a sluggish start this morning there, right? A little bit.
He did, not me. I'm good.
No, we're good.
I've been flying. I'm ready.
How about that? Hey, Bub, tell us a little bit about this project. You know, we talked to everybody. We're coming to you from inside the main facility here.
Yep, we are.
People don't realize how big this facility really is. We're about 50,000 square feet in total. We have a paint and body shop, and we have an upholstery shop as well. All on site. Everything's done here. That's what kind of separates us a little bit. The other thing is, Bub, that what separates you from everybody else is that you can work every piece of your business. It doesn't matter whether it's the mechanical side of the house, the paint and body side of the house. It doesn't matter if it's the upholstery. You can sew it up. You can design it.
Yeah.
You can touch every piece of this facility.
Well, I wouldn't be a master of all of those if I didn't do them. So I got to do them.
And you have done that. And you have done that. Bub, this is a nice masterpiece here. This is a 68 Camaro that came in that was built at another facility, but the build quality was not quite where it should have been.
No, and that's actually why, when our producer just asked us, what do you want today's thing to be called? So I was like, perfection is key. So let me give you the rundown on this. This car was one that was built a couple years ago. Really nice job. The car's, beautiful condition. It's running a GM Performance, fast burn, 350 cubic inch motor. All fuel injected, all modern. Everything about this car is modern. The disc brakes, the power steering, the air conditioning, the audio system, the electronics. Everything about this car is modern, and it looks really, really nice. However, there were a couple pieces on this car that just weren't 100%, and that's why we call this perfection is key. In this case, this car would have been very, very satisfactory to probably 90% of the classic car.
It was very satisfactory to the owner.
Community, right.
Until you started pointing it out.
It just didn't have that 100% show quality / driver level to it. And the car deserved that with everything else that's done to it. And, we're actually doing a lot of modifications to it as well to really bump it up to that next level. But in this case, as you can see, there were multiple dings, dents, scratches, deep grooves everywhere. The doors were very, very far out of alignment.
The door alignment here and here, you were having a real problem with that up in here. You like to go through and do what we call sticking a car. Tell everybody what sticking a car is when you're doing paint and body work.
Yeah, so what I do is I actually use, to do all of my gaps, I do 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch gaps everywhere. In some cars you can get away with 1/8 inch. I prefer tighter gaps if you can get them. But some of the older cars, especially these, depending on, the way the doors pivot, the way the hood actually opens up and closes, you have to bump those to 1/4 inch gaps. So what I do is I actually take paint sticks, and whether it's 1/8 inch, which is just your standard thickness of a paint stick, your mixing sticks, just a wood straight sticks, that's all it is. Or if you're doing something where you need larger, you can literally tape 2 of them together and do 1/4 inch gaps. You're gonna get perfection. Those are perfectly square sticks, and you can take them and run them all the way down every gap and check your spacing front to rear, whether it's a trunk, hood, doors, top, bottom, left, right, doesn't matter where you're running. Bottoms of the doors, at the rockers, you can set them at 1/4 inch. This car, for this example, is all 1/4 inch gaps everywhere. It just has to be the way everything pivots and hinges, especially here at the front of the doors. a lot of these guys that did these older cars had rubbing here and rubbing here, which you can see was the case with this one as well. And a big part of that too is the fact that these were stock doors, but reproduction fenders.
Correct.
And you get that a lot. I mean, reproduction houses, you got to think, I mean, this is 40 plus years later and we're stamping molds with newer technology, but still building it to 99.9% spec
Before.
to the factory molds, but you're
Sure.
still 40 years later, so you're going to have a little variance, and that's a given. It's just a matter of taking the time to do it right, and most people don't. They just put it on and they're like, it's a new part, sorry.
So, Bub, this is also, can we talk to the audience a little bit about the hood? Is this a stock hood on this car that we're seeing?
No, the one that's on this car is not a stock hood. It's an aftermarket.
What do they call this?
It's a 2.5-inch cowl induction hood. Real nice hood. It's the true Camaro look. Everybody loves it. I personally like those cowl induction hoods. But this one, again, just didn't fit right at all, and it's got a very deep bow in the hood. So regardless of the fact that the fenders are straight, everything looks square, when you look at it from the side of the car, I don't know if you guys can actually see where I'm going to go, but right now the hood's not shut, so don't judge it from here. But when you look and run down this line, you can actually see where there's a bow in that side, the driver's side of the hood. It just bows up, and it's something that is in the mold of the hood. That's where we either work this hood really, really hard, try to make it come together as it should. Sometimes you can structurally trim and notch the bottom side, flex it out to where it needs to be, and then you can weld everything back together, grind it in, you'll never know it was done. Or we take the potential chance of buying another hood, and then you deal with the same
You're still
thing
going to have that
possibly.
same kind of
Right,
issue
right.
with it being off
Yeah.
like that.
But little things like that were on this car that just were not perfect, and this client wants it perfect, so we're doing it.
And you know, Bub, it's like everything you do, every nut and bolt you touch, it's indexed a certain way, okay? Every stitch you make is absolutely laser straight, okay? And you just work with an old console machine, a manual machine with no lasers, no nothing. And the same thing holds true with your paint and body. Everything, you've had the nose off this car, you've lined it up, you've had the doors off this car, you've shimmed it, it's taken you numerous hours. You'll never get back out of the car to get to this.
No, I mean, it takes, and that's really honestly where people don't understand the time that goes into these types of builds, especially the restoration stuff. Even more so when you're dealing with things, we're doing a couple big rides right now, where every part is getting fabricated. It's literally, you have to build every piece of it. And from a sheet metal standpoint, it has to be right. You can't shortcut it. You can't just put it together one time and hope it's going to be right out of the gate. No one's that good. You have to put this thing together, mock it up, build your templates, take it apart, cut it, put it back on, trim it, measure it, move it around a little bit more. You're going to be modifying this thing probably 2, 3, 4 times. So much so in this case here, we literally had these doors on and off 3 times before we finally got the hinges adjustable to where we can get them set. It would just not line up physically because there was no adjustment in the hinges anywhere from a front to rear standpoint, from a horizontal standpoint. You can move the door around however you wanted, but you couldn't move it front to rear, and that's what we really needed to do to get a 1/4-inch gap at the rear by the way these skins were installed.
And the fenders were really, really off. But this is a great time to give a shout out to our sponsor, one of your big ones. We'll just hang up their banner here, hold up their banner. We haven't had it yet because these are the people, Bob, that are going to get you through this build.
That's right.
What we've got to do is we've got to give a big shout out to Eckler's and the fine group of things that they keep there. They are the family of automotive parts companies. They provide all of your things there, Bub. They're a big supply house for you. You've got parts coming in for the 63 T-Bird behind us today. We just got this banner in. It's brand new to us. We haven't had a chance to put it up. So thank you to Christina and all the guys over there at Eckler's. We appreciate all you guys do for us over there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is, you really hit it right there with everything we're doing to this car because we're still keeping it very aesthetically period correct from a look standpoint. We're keeping this car how it should look. However, all of the modern updates are going to go into it. For example, the wheels, we're having custom cut wheels that have actually already delivered here. We've got them here in the shop. But they're 18-inch and 19-inch wheels that we're going to run on this car. It's a staggered combo. It's going to be a real nice fitment, but it's a factory GM rally wheel. So it's got that pewter coated center, chrome rings around it, which is actually billet, not a chrome snap and ring. So it's actually billet aluminum that's all high polish. And then with the factory center caps in the center. So it looks exactly how it should, but it's going to clear a much larger brake and give this car a very, very nice modern stance and look to it.
And that's brought to us, Bub, by our good friends over there, Kenny, down at Wheel Pros. Those are custom cut wheels you had made for it. They are a GM Rally style wheel, which will be complementary to this body style when it's all finished up.
Yeah, so it'll look really good. And by the time we take and put all the trim back on the sides, the actual 3 little gills right there on the lower quarter panels, you get all the chrome handles on, all of the stainless trim on. It looks beautiful, and all that stuff we're getting in from Eckler's, so this car is just going to look top notch when it's done.
And Bub,
completely wet finish paint job on it. It's going to be amazing.
Does it scare you, Bub, when you're working in small sections like this? You had a fairly straight car with beautiful paint on it. One of the things we noticed, though, well, let's finish with that question first. You had a very straight car. I mean, it looked really good. The gaps were way out.
Yeah.
And I mean, there were dings and dents all over the place. But does it scare you to cut a paint job up like that?
No, not at all. I mean, either way, you're going to paint it, so it doesn't matter. I mean, we wanted to keep this thing as little in terms of paintwork as possible. But as we just kept moving around the car, you know, essentially the first thing we had planned on doing was definitely painting the quarters and painting the doors. We knew for sure we were going to need to work these things.
Then you just kept moving on.
But then by the time you start moving it on, and then especially here, like we had no intentions of painting the front clip of this car. Absolutely not. But we got to a point where as good as we had the doors to quarters lined up, everything was beautiful there. The doors to rockers, all 1/4-inch gaps. We started working into the front, and there was just no way it was going to happen without doing it right. So we had to just keep pushing forward, and we're going to do the entire front end on this thing too, and essentially paint this whole car.
So,
which really isn't much more time. I mean, we've already taken the time to take the taillights out, the door handles off, the locks, all the trim, the weather strip. All of this is going to come off. All the stainless window bright work is going to come off before we even put this thing into the booth. All of the emblems up here will come off now that we're going to do these fenders. So the thing's going to get stripped all the way down, so you might as well just do it right.
So, Bub, the reality of it is, to do a job like this, it's not fast, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
The client wants to get out and cruise. Everybody wants to get out there and cruise. And I'm not saying this negatively, but that's one of the things we deal with on Monday morning. It's just pressure from everybody.
Yeah, no one understands. I mean, this stuff takes time to do it right. And
does.
if you let people take time to do it right, you're going to appreciate it in the end. But if you rush it and push it all the way through, you're not going to be happy. It's just
going to be a
simple.
disaster.
Something's not going to be right. It'll be close, but it won't be perfect, and that's not the way it goes. Here, we do it all the way. We take it all the way to 100%. And if you want to rush us, sorry. Push all you want. We're going to do the job right.
That's exactly right. I'd rather have somebody upset because the job took longer and they appreciated the quality than being rushed out the door and there being a quality control issue. The other thing is, too, Bud, you and I will be up in Arlington, Virginia. We'll be laying your grandfather to rest with honors at Arlington National Cemetery Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I apologize. We won't be able to bring you videos. Our producer will be there. The whole crew will be there. We're going to close the facility down for that. It's a very emotional time for us. So it's going to be tough. We will miss you guys on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll be back Saturday with the podcast. And by the way, you can keep up with this at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. I would ask that we're getting a ton of hours out there and people viewing our
YouTube channel.
Yeah. If I could ask you all to please subscribe, it would be very kind. I know a lot of people don't like stuff coming to them. We won't bomb you or anything like that. We want to, up that so we can get our own custom URL to go along with all the other fine 4K stuff, the Bubba's Motorsports Network, and everything else that we're doing here. So please visit us at bubbasexoticmotorsports.com and click on the YouTube channel. Real quick, Bub, before we jump out, let's let everybody know how the grand opening for Miss Outlaw Boutique, it's MS Outlaw Boutique. Let's let everybody know how that went Friday night. We left off.
An absolute blowout. I mean, this place was, she had a scheduled time for an hour and a half to do her grand opening launch party because it was already after her store hours normally closed. And it pushed well past 5 hours long of a grand opening, which was, you couldn't have asked for any more. I mean, the people that were there, the clientele that was there, the store was shoulder to shoulder. There were major league athletes out there. There were celebrities out there. It was a super good time. Everyone enjoyed it.
That's why you got out on the water yesterday and just got away from
just hanging out.
Yeah.
We weren't even planning on it. We were just sitting there and having a drink at Utiki, which is a really cool place here.
And then you're like, boat time.
The boat pulled up and it was like $10 a ride. So I was like, we're doing it.
We're out there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to get out there. So it's funny. I just played a little bit with one of the Harleys yesterday. I put on the grips that have been sitting on my workbench at my house for so long. So it just the little things mean so much, oftentimes. So I'd ask everybody to please visit us at bubbasexoticmotorsports.com. Ms. Outlaw Boutique, MS Outlaw Boutique. If you go out there, you'll see her stuff. 561-660-6695 is her place. I know you've got another Camaro coming in tomorrow. If it gets here in time, we'll share it with everybody. If not, we'll share it with you Wednesday. It's a 68 Camaro you're going to be doing quite a bit of stuff with. So,
that's right. I'm ready.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ready to go.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to roll this thing back over to paint, let it get back into the production house where it belongs. Hey, Bub, until next time, we want to set out to touch somebody's life in a positive way every day. Thanks to the guys over there at Eckler's. Thanks to Miss Outlaw Boutique. Thanks to our producer, Matt, for all he does. He spends countless hours while I was working yesterday morning taking care of the podcast. He was also up working on the podcast. Everybody was killing it yesterday on their day off. So we appreciate it, Bub. Until next time.
Until tomorrow.
And keep on
doing it Bubba style.
Doing it Bubba style. Little man, how you doing, man?